How to grow perennial herbs. When working your own herb garden, you have a choice between planting annual herbs and planting perennial herbs. Perennial plants are plants that typically live for more than 2 years, whereas annual plants are plants that die every year and need to be planted again. Perennial plants can live through the winter because they hibernate during the winter months. The plant will die above soil, but its roots will remain and lie dormant until the spring months. Perennial herbs are a great choice for herb gardens because they are tough and sturdy, allowing them to tolerate a large range of conditions. Learn how to grow perennial herbs by adhering to a few important steps and guidelines. Steps 1. Choose which perennial herbs to grow in your garden. Where you live will impact which perennial herbs you can grow. By researching local growing conditions and matching them with herbs that grow best in your local growing conditions, you can make the entire process easier for yourself. Refer to a USDA Hardiness Zone Map. The map covers North America, dividing the entire continent into 11 different zones based on how cold it gets in those areas. Find out which zone you live in. 2. Purchase the herb seeds, seed starter kits and potting soil from a local gardening store. Most seeds for perennial herbs are not very expensive, although the heirloom varieties will have a bit of price markup. Heirloom plants are plant types that were grown commonly in the past but aren't used in modern large-scale agriculture. 3. Plant the herb seed in the starter kit according to directions. Each individual variety of perennial herb will have specific growing conditions and instructions. Often, the instructions will be located on the back of the seed packets. It is important to adhere to the individual herb growing conditions. Begin the potting process in late autumn or early winter. Perennial herbs have internal sensors that signify the coming of spring and will not grow until those internal sensors are triggered. Before you can move the plant outside, the seed must grow accustomed to being in soil in order to sense the passing of winter when it is moved outside. This preparation process can take up to 12 weeks depending on the type of perennial herb. 4. Prepare the soil for seed transfer. When winter is coming to a close, pick a spot in your garden where you will be planting and growing herbs. Perennial herbs tend to grow best in well-drained areas that receive at least 5 to 6 hours of sunshine every day. Using a spade, cultivate the area where you will be planting your herb. As you cultivate, mix in some compost into the soil in order to boost the nutrient levels. If you don't have compost, you can research the nutrient requirements for your specific herb and buy a fertilizer pack that meets those requirements. 5. Transfer the herb seed from pot to garden at the start of spring. Check the back of your seed packets for specific instructions and information regarding your exact herb type, e.g., soil depth. 6. Water your herbs deeply once a week. Watering a plant deeply means to soak the soil all the way through, at least 8 inches, 20 centimeters, down into the soil. Shallow watering, sprinkling water so that only the surface soil gets wet, will produce weak plant growth. It is better to water deeply once a week than to water shallowly every day. 7. Trim and harvest the herbs periodically. To prevent your herbs from growing too big for your garden, you should trim and prune them to size at least once a year. Pruning consists of picking or cutting the outer leaves off.